Hello and welcome to Clydesdale Homestead. My name is Tamlin and I appreciate you watching this video with me today. A little bit of an introduction. My family and I moved to North Idaho about 2 years ago, but we've been homesteading for many years before that. In fact, I don't think they had the term homesteading like we use it now when I was a kid, but I grew up raising livestock and farm animals and gardening and things like that. But it wasn't until I got married that I really started to learn things like canning and growing a garden. And even that, at that time, I don't think homesteading was really a thing. But over the years, I've really come to enjoy this lifestyle. So I consider myself a homesteader. I've been homesteading for many years. And if you count since I've been married, that would be 27 years. So a long time. And we've lived in many different states and places. And so I have a lot of experience in homesteading in different environments, different physical climates, different types of home situations. And so I hope that you enjoy what we have to say here on our YouTube channel and that we can maybe provide you some entertainment or maybe just something interesting and hopefully useful and applicable to what you're trying to do in your life with your homestead. So recently, I decided that it is high time to start doing some more YouTube videos since we are well settled into our new home. We moved here from the Dallas area 2 years ago, and this is our third winter in North Idaho. My husband is a beekeeper, so most of our videos will be about hobby beekeeping. But in January in North Idaho, there isn't a whole lot you can do for your bees except hope and pray that they survive the winter. And so in the meantime, we should make some videos about some of the other things we do in our lifestyle that we have chosen to live. So recently, we finally made our big vacation to Orlando, Florida. We'd been trying to make this trip for 3 years and we kept having to cancel our trip for various circumstances well beyond our control. And we finally went and we had a wonderful time. We just got back yesterday. But while we were in the hotel, I had some downtime and I started binge watching some YouTube videos, and the theme that kept popping up in my recommended watch, next was pantry challenges by many different YouTubers who like to preserve their food and shop in bulk and be prepared in case they can't go to the store every day, whether it's for just a family illness or lifestyle choice or you're snowed in, whatever reason. We get all of those up here. So I started binge watching all of these videos about the pantry challenge, and I came across one in particular. The Three Rivers Homestead had her pantry challenge up. And so I started watching those. And if you ever binge watch videos and all of a sudden you're just thinking, I gotta do it, that happens to me more than just in pantry challenges. If I ever start watching a lot of home improvement videos, then all of a sudden I'm thinking about knocking out some walls and shiplapping everything, right? So try to stay away from those and do something a little bit more practical for the whole family, right? Okay, so I was watching all these pantry challenges and I thought, I'm gonna do it. I wanna do it. We need to organize some stuff in our pantry. And I've done a pantry challenge before. Several years ago, I did a pantry challenge with Nicole from Living Free in Tennessee, and she and I actually talked about our experience on her podcast, and that was a lot of fun. I'll see if I can find a link and put it in the comments or something, because that was a lot of fun. And then I know that Carolyn at Homesteading Family is currently doing a pantry challenge, but hers is a class that you subscribe to, and she will teach you how to create your pantry and how to manage it and organize it. And I think that ends very soon, so you'll want to check that out, and I'll put a link for that too, because everything that Carolyn produces is awesome. All her classes are top-notch. I highly recommend it, even though I haven't personally taken her pantry challenge class. So look into that. So back to the Three Rivers Homestead Pantry Challenge. Her rules are you get to make your own rules. So while I was on vacation, I was thinking about what I would like to accomplish with my pantry and what's going on with our personal food supply and where we get things and what to do from there. So after a whole week on vacation of airport food and line food, restaurant food, hotel breakfasts, and theme park food. I was really, really ready to get back to our normal eating, the foods that we enjoy, that are good for us. Though I did enjoy the frozen butter beer, I admit it. It was good. But we are looking forward to getting back to our normal schedule and our normal eating routines. So the things that we get normally for our normal everyday eating, we do buy in bulk, things like grains that we can't or don't grow ourselves. We do buy whole animals. We'll buy whole chickens or whole pigs, whole or half beef, and we buy milk directly from the dairy farmer. I've got a great lady who has a few cows, and I meet her in a parking lot on Wednesdays, and we get our raw milk. We have our own chickens up here, and we're learning to grow our own gardens, and of course we have our own bees for honey. So I haven't gone in a grocery store for regular grocery shopping for many years, actually. At Christmas time, this last Christmas, my husband and I went to a grocery store and bought some fun and fancy things for our Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve feasts, and it was weird. It was weird. It had been so many years since I had gone grocery shopping. I do buy things from grocery stores, but Walmart delivers even up here. So that saves me from a lot of impulse buying. I can just get exactly what I need, and I usually use them for mostly household goods, you know, getting our toilet paper and our dishwasher detergent and things like that. And like I said, they are delivering to this area, which is pretty cool because it takes me 20 minutes to get down the mountain. We live up in the mountains of North Idaho. 20 minutes to get down the mountain, and then you have to go into town and go to the store, and that's a lot of time. So I'm really appreciative that I can cut that out of my to-do list. And I do also belong to a produce co-op that's locally run here in North Idaho, and the person who runs that, she gets bulk produce directly from the distributors, and so that's a really good deal for us. And then I also buy bulk items from Azure Standard and places like that. And so that's usually where we get our groceries, or from you know, local farmers. We had a great friend this summer who had a little market farm and a ton of great produce from her. And so then we spend our time preserving it in different ways: freeze drying, canning, pressure canning, even freezing. So that's mostly what we eat. We don't have a lot of grocery store food in general in our house anyway. So for my challenge, what I decided to do for the 3 Rivers Pantry Challenge is to organize the freezers. We do have a beef coming, and we always need to, you know, eat down what's in the freezer before that new order comes and you have a ton of meat to store. Our beef was supposed to be butchered in October, but the butcher was very far behind, so they pushed that date back to November. So our cow is still alive, basically, is what I'm going to say. And then in December, the butcher had a work-related accident, was injured, and so he hadn't been able to get back to work until recently. So hopefully our cow will be ready soon. So I need to prepare our freezers for that, for the space that we're going to need. So I know in our freezers I've got some lard that needs to be rendered. I've got some frozen vegetables I need to either eat or possibly freeze dry if we're not going to eat them quickly, so they don't get freezer burned. And then another one of my freezer goals is to convince my family to label anything that they put in the freezer because I know we've got some containers in there and we look at it and nobody knows what it is, nobody remembers. So that's another goal. In my household, we have 3 adults, myself, my husband, and my mother, and then we have our youngest child is still at home. And so we need to get together and label the food that we put in the freezer. So that's one of my goals for the Pantry Challenge: get those things out of the freezer, get them organized, get what needs to be eaten or preserved differently, get that lard rendered. It's been in there a long time. I keep putting it off. And the second thing, besides the freezer items, would be the dry goods. Just before we left on vacation, like the day before, I purchased 2 big boxes of winter squash. I got spaghetti squash and butternut squash from the local produce wholesaler. She's not really a wholesaler, but she developed her own co-op, And so I need to get those out of the boxes and store them correctly. Can you guys hear the chomping? That's my dog eating snow. And it's warm out here. You can probably hear the rain and the melting coming down the gutters in the drain pipes. So it's a fairly warm day. So sorry about the background noise, but let's see, the squash, I gotta get the squash taken care of. Oh, and then I bought 2 25-pound paper bags of rolled oats. We go through a lot of oats. That's what I usually make our granola out of, which is our cereal. I like to eat that instead of store-bought cereal, although my son is still addicted to Honey Nut Cheerios. I'm gonna try to work on that. So I bought 50 pounds of rolled oats, and they are in paper bags, and that is not okay. That needs to be put into different containers so it does not start attracting rodents. So taking care of the oats, the squash, and the freezer items is my pantry challenge. And I'm going to give myself a couple of weeks to do this. And I plan to make some more videos. I'll show you my freezer. I'll show you my pantry and how we store things, and hopefully get more organized and gear up for the spring. Spring's pretty far away still in North Idaho. We still have very high likelihood of snow in April. Last year we didn't get warm until July actually, which was unusual, but it still happened. So spring is a long way away, and we are rather dark and gloomy this far north. So this time of year is a great time to give yourself a big project, keep yourself occupied, and having everything clean and organized is always a way to make me feel better in my home and our homestead. So I hope you subscribe and follow along with us, and let me know if there's something specific about food storage or food preparation that you're interested in learning about. I hope to also share some recipes, especially those that incorporate honey, since we are beekeepers. And yeah, let me know if there's something specific. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.